As the name suggests, Global Bio Gardens is a bio garden where we produced bio vegetables with Demeter quality. The project members come from different countries, which includes um, families, students, academics, working professionals. So it started during the first wave of Corona pandemic, and during the pandemic time, as you know, there were lockdown restrictions, so you couldn't meet many people or even go out. Many of the students from Germany, they went back to their homes, but international students, unfortunately, due to flying restrictions and other lockdown restrictions, got stuck in their dorms. And then we come up with the idea of a garden project. That is the beginning. So producing vegetables, yeah, that we do, that is one of the main aspects of the garden project. But it is beyond that. When we started the project, we realized, we have families on ground, we have students on ground. Sometimes they tell, about their own problems with their, not just strictly academics, but also with their stay here, with their insurance or visa, or some interaction with some institutions with regard to internships, so on and so forth. So so it is a platform where they can, if they have a problem, they can ask another person from abroad, okay, how did you deal with this problem? Are there ways? And if it's really hard, we can also again refer back to some students from Germany for translation purposes. They also help each other for appointments at the foreign registration office, maybe accompany them, because at the Auslanderbehörde people hardly speak English, so at times you need help with translation, also with filling up applications and so on and so forth. Once the project started to build up, initially it was strictly about gardening and farming activities, but once it progresses, then we got into other aspects. And in Erfurt, mostly every for international students, they have sometimes their own association. For example, there is a South American association, or like an African association sometimes. Yeah, the Indian students just stick to themselves, but there is nothing called like there are initiatives. There is something called Ausländerbeirat. That is an organization which represents every student or every migrant here in Erfurt, but hardly many people know this. And with Global Beer Gardens, what happens? We also try to get different migrant groups. It's an opportunity for them to come together and then together ask for their rights. I mean, we have represented Ausländerbeirat in 2 meetings, I believe, and also there is another organization from the inspiration of these meetings. They're coming up now, which is called Anti-Ra. It is a common name given by, it is not registered yet, but it is an initiative in the pipeline, and which includes people from the Middle East, people from South America, people from the African continent, many countries. And so it is like a binding platform. And as you know, normally when you're a migrant, you're in a city. If everyone stick to their group, and nobody has any voting right, the city, especially a small town like Erfurt or a city like Erfurt, they would hardly have, their rights are not so much represented. And there is, if you start exploring this topic, you will see many of the workers who do the job here come from Poland. And then also there is Syria, Afghanistan. These people really work hard, and they live in Erfurt or surroundings and around Erfurt. And they bring in a lot of money into the city, and nobody represents their rights. Normally, they cannot vote, and the politicians are not interested in them because you cannot present them with your votes. So there are many subtleties and many issues, especially refugee backgrounds. They have always problem in getting their paper reissued, and this person might be working full time and maybe working for a company like Zalando, but he has no paper, so this person is under constant stress, but still he is helping the state to get more money. So There are many issues which can be discussed when such a platform exists, and we use it at times also about children. When there are families, the children would like to go to a better school, and a place like Erfurt, there's always struggle, and if you don't know people, it's hard because of there's also a discrimination at different levels. Yeah, so for parents to enroll their students in a better school, sometimes a challenge, or for themselves to go approach an institution, could be a challenge. So all these problems can be discussed. Sometimes it's so much work for us also, but if certain things can be solved,